Hey everyone, this is Nicole Crocker. Welcome to another episode of San Diego Spotlight, where we introduce one local small business to you every week. Let's go see who we meet today.
My name's Keoni, Rosa. I'm an architect. I live in San Diego in the neighborhood of North Park. When you select an architect, you want to find someone that fits the style, your style. And it's like buying a pair of pants or any kind of clothes. You're going to look for the brand that you like and the style that fits you and matches your tastes. And it's kind of the same when you get an architect. You know, you're buying the style, and so you find someone that is on your same wavelength and that you can get along with and come up together with a solution to your project. Architects typically don't advertise, and so all of my projects are word of mouth. And so I'll do a project for your friend, and then they'll refer me to you, and you'll hire me, and then we'll do a good job for you, and then you refer me to someone else, and that's just how it works. It's all word of mouth and referrals. When you hire an architect to do the plans for your house, we design the project together. We come up with the way exactly that you want it, and then you have to develop all the construction documents. So you have to have all of the architectural plans, all of the structural plans. If you need civil engineering, if you need Title 24, any kind of specialty surveys or anything in the plans that you need, landscape plans, they all go together, and then with that set, then you're ready to go in for a permit. And then once you start construction, then you can get into exact specifications of tile, countertop materials, wood species or wood floors, because everything has different prices, and most projects are on a budget, and so it's always best to know where you are in that budget before you start making these selections, because then it will tell you if you can have the $4,000 fan or the $500 fan. And so it just sort of helps you as you go through the process. And I can design all the way through down to your sheets and silverware if that's what you want me to do for you. Most people don't have me do their sheets and silverware, but I can if you want. But a lot of times, it's finishes, the colors, the tiles, the paints, the stones, and getting all those material samples together and seeing how they all work together. And that's what gives you a cohesive project throughout. Well, typically we do the plans first, and on the plans I'll show the tile layouts, I'll show the wood floor layouts, I'll show where the tile goes on the walls, how much tile we have, where the countertops go, where the hard surfaces are. But then as far as specification, it's better to wait until we get to that point to know where our budget is for the total cost of the project, so that you know how much you can spend on finishes, because they do add up a lot, and there's such a wide range of costs in all the finishes throughout the job. Sometimes I'm hired just to do the plans to get the building permit. And once we get the building permit, the plans go to the contractor, and sometimes I never see my client again until the end, and they call me and they say they're done, come look at it. And we look at it and they're just like amazed. Other times the clients will want me to be there throughout the whole construction process. And I prefer being involved throughout it, because once you start construction, there's still a million decisions that you have to make throughout the whole process. And like, how does the tile connect when it hits the wood on the corner? And there's always these little questions that come up every day. And so I like to be involved and to help make decisions as it goes through. But it's all budget driven, and it's has to do with the costs and are you in budget with your project, and how do we get to that point to get you what you want for the money that you have. Typically, I'm hired directly by the homeowner. So the homeowner is my client, and I work for the homeowner. And Other times I've been hired by the contractor, where I work for the contractor to design the job. But most of the time it's directly through the homeowner. And that way I represent you. And then we all work together with the contractor to get the final product. And so many times you'll go into construction and you'll start to have to value engineer stuff or budget things to get to the budget that you need. And so we all have to work together to reach the end product. As an owner builder, when you get your building permit, you have two choices. You can go owner builder on the application, or you can sign fill out the contractor information on the form. And so it kind of puts the responsibility, if you do it owner builder, it puts the responsibility on you. That means that you're acting as the contractor. And versus if you have the contractor already, you get him on the job and on the application, registered with the city, and he's in charge of everything. The time frame varies. And I've had jobs that have taken 3 years, and I've had jobs that have taken 2 weeks. And so it just all depends. Every job is different. Normally, it's best to plan for at least 2 months of design time to come up with the floor plan and the layout and the way it looks. And once we have the floor plans done and the elevations and our door and window schedules and everything laid out, then the plans go to a structural engineer. And that can take at least a couple weeks to do all the structural engineering. We also need to get a Title 24 report. That only takes a few days, but then we put everything together, then we're ready to go in for a building permit. We have all the architectural plans done and all the structural plans done, and we have our Title 24 report. Then typically we're ready at that point to go in for a building permit. Now, if you're on a hillside and you're cutting and filling or grading, then we may need civil plans for grading. If it's a new development, like in an HOA or something like that, they may require landscape plans, or the city may require landscape plans. And so you also may need a survey of the lot. If it's a difficult site with a lot of angles and hillsides and slopes, we may need that. So it's also like historic buildings. If you have a building that's more than 45 years old, sometimes you have to go through a historic review. And so once we get all of those disciplines together, we put them all together in a PDF, get them all printed, stapled. That's your set of plans. Then you're ready to go in for the building permit. Typically on my residential projects, I do a fixed fee for the design and the plans. And so we start with the schematic design, and we develop the floor plan and how it's going to look on the outside. Then we go into design development, where it's a little bit more detailed, where we're looking at finishes and beams and where things are going, where the mechanical systems are going to go, where the electric panel is going to go. And then after that is construction documents. And that's when we start putting dimensions on all the plans, doing all the schedules, the sections, the details, so that we have a set of plans that are ready to go for permit. The next phase after that is permitting. And once the permit's approved, then we go into construction. So the way I work is I do permitting and construction on an hourly basis. And the plans are all on a fixed price, but permitting and construction is hourly. That way, during construction, you can use me as little as you want or as much as you want. And I'm always available by phone for contractors if they have questions, and there's always something that comes up, and to keep the project moving and to get the end result.
Before I call my architect, is there anything I should really know about what I want?
Yes. So before you call your architect, yes, have some stuff ready, because it makes the job go so much smoother. The first thing is scope of work, is have a list of everything that you want done. That's the most beneficial way, is to have it on paper. I want one closet, one bathroom, 8-car garage, whatever it is, lay it all out on paper. And it's the best way to go over everything with your architect so that he'll know. The other thing is as-built plans. If you have any as-built plans for your property, that's the second most helpful thing, because we have something to work with. Most of the time, people don't have plans to their house, and so what we have to do is go through and measure everything, which we do anyway, but it helps to have a starting point. Also, any kind of records for your house. If you have records of any building permit that was pulled on your property, your tax records that show your APN number, your property dimensions, your legal description, anything like that can help. It's just more information, the better. Start with a phone call, and so we'll talk on the phone, and we'll talk about your existing house, what you want to do to it, and what I do is I'll pull it up on a satellite view on my computer, and as we talk, I'll be looking at the satellite views and street views from Google, and then after we figure out what it is that you want, then we'll schedule a site visit. I'll come out, I'll meet you in person, we can walk through the site, we can wear masks, and figure out exactly what we're gonna do, and it also helps us see it in person just to see if there's any red flags, or like there's a utility pole right where you want to put your garage, or things like that. And then once I see it, then I can put together a proposal for you of how much it will cost to prepare the plans and to get your building permit. I became an architect because I love design. I love designing buildings and designing pools and yards and barbecue structures, and ever since I was a kid, I've always drawn, and I love doing it. I also like helping people and getting to know different people and building their dreams, and it's a really fun profession. I love it, and it can get stressful, but I love doing it, and it's fun to go through the process and just see the building slowly get built and developed, and it's exciting. And the best part is at the end to just see everybody happy and enjoying their dream, basically. So I love it. It's a great profession, and I'd be happy to help you do it.